It is 4 o'clock, but as people come in, we're going to show a little bit of the gallery. But first, I want to say hello and welcome to the Juried Art Show. My name is Sam. Most of you know me. I'm a graduate student. I'm currently running all the gallery spaces this semester in lieu of a gallery director at the moment. But yeah, this is the Juried Art Show. We're going to go ahead and have Allie walk around with her phone a little bit to kind of show you the space. Just another thing that I remembered is that even though this reception is virtual, our show is still physical and in person, so you can come into the space anytime from now until the 23rd. Our hours are posted on the website, 11 to 4, except for Thursdays, 11 to 7. You can come in, you can see the work, which I highly recommend because we've got several things in here that are time-based media, like videos and sound art and stuff like that, which when we show you some of that here, we're going to, what? Oh yeah, I will, sorry. We're gonna show you a little bit of some of the stuff that's in here, but we're not gonna spend too long on certain things. So I definitely recommend coming in and being able to see the stuff for longer in person. And here's the space.
All right.
And this is Allie, by the way. So I have Allie walking around with a camera. And then I have Caroline over here on our technical things. But yeah, as we wait for people to file in, you guys can look at the work in the lovely shaky handheld video that we have.
Excuse me.
Great, Allie. That's all good. And if there are any pieces that you want us to like stop on, if you're like, hey, can I see that a little bit closer? Feel free to stop me and I will stop her. Yeah.
We have Contemplating by Grace Berry. And as we come along, we're reaching into Black Furnace by Kevin Naylor, which is a piece that you might not be able to hear, so you might have to come in person and come hear it. But I totally recommend coming. I don't know if anyone could hear it.
Is it coming in double? The audio. It's not picking up from my mic?
Not.
Is it? Okay.
All right.
Mute me a second.
Yeah. Did you want me to go back on these over here? All right. And this one is Two Brains for Melting by Elizabeth Littrell. We have Rise and Shine by Jenna Rupska. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. And we have Regan Zerwig, Burnt Waves. Okay. Okay. We have some digital pieces over here and some videos. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I can't see it very well on mine. Okay. The audios, yeah. Yeah. Back way. We have Circles Ascending by Olivia Williams. And this is also by Olivia Williams. This is Waved Lantern. Probably get up closer over here. In this space, we have Regan Zerwig with Seeing Circles. Go back. Okay, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to. Okay. This one is Pink Eye, The Elements by Elizabeth Littrell. And we have Alienation by Justin Tribble. We have this video. This is Nothing Anyone Can Do by Jamie Nichols. Did I say that name right? Okay. Huh? This is Separated Lovers. This is by Alyssa Anthony. We have some more video pieces over here. Yeah, we reached it while it stopped. That one's called Scent of a Man by Elena Well, I'm sorry if but okay. I'm so sorry. And this one is Dunkelrot by Chloe Sima Martin. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid not. And here's just a wide shot of the other half of the gallery.
Can you go all the way around Ghost?
I can go around Ghost.
Hmm.
And Ghost is by, is it Leila Wininger? Is that how you say her last name? Yeah. And the wire piece. I'll go ahead and make my way over there for you.
It's nice to see the pieces and kind of get a sense of the scale.
And here is Sycamore Seed by Elena Lewinwell, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And also, while we're here, I'll introduce our jurors on the call, Mark Brott, who picked all of the pieces for the show this year.
Far away where you can't get me.
Oh,
I can't be no retribution or revenge.
look at that. I also spotlighted you for just a few.
Let's spare them that too long. We don't want to hurt them too bad.
That's okay. All right, but there's an overview of what the gallery looks like. Like I said, this reception is going to be virtual, obviously, but you know, it is still in person. You are more than welcome to come into the gallery and see all these pieces in person, like I said, I definitely recommend that. We've got some wonderful like sound piece, some video pieces. A lot of them are very long. And obviously, we're not going to have time to go through them the whole time that we're here. And so now, thank you, Allie, so much for walking around the gallery. And now I'm going to move towards the part that probably I imagine most of you are here for, the awards ceremony, which is, huh?
People want to see these. When is the gallery open?
Oh, when is the gallery? Okay. The gallery is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 4 and Thursday from 11 to 7. And this show will be up until the 23rd. There's a spiel. Now I'm going to move it on to the awards ceremony, which is going to be read off by our department chair, Alden Kavanaugh. Let's
All right.
do that. I will
Okay.
remove me.
The host has spotlighted me. Oh no.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's really nice to see you all, even if you were in small boxes. I'm so glad to see everybody here. And welcome to the 2021 annual Juried Student Exhibition that we are doing this way this year. And hopefully next year, we'll be all together in one space. We'll be able to have delicious snacks and hug each other and congratulate each other in person. But nevertheless, it's wonderful to see you. And as Sam said, for those of you who haven't met me yet, currently I'm the chairperson of the Department of Art and Design. And I'd like to just welcome you to this event where we recognize and celebrate the achievements of our students. That is many of you. And before we get started, I see that most of you are muted. Sam wanted me to ask that everyone please just mute, make it easier on everybody. And I'd like to ask you, since we are not in the auditorium and we can't clap for everyone as they win, really, let's just wait until the end and everyone can unmute and we can applaud, we can cheer, we can burst into song, we can do whatever. And then that way we'll be able to congratulate everybody at the same time. And at that time, after we have clapped, I'd like to invite anybody who has a question for any of our artists or for our juror who very kindly has attended this event as well. He did a wonderful talk a couple nights ago with our students. Feel free to engage them if you would like. And one more sort of housekeeping announcement that's pretty important for those of you who do receive scholarships tonight, those of you who receive awards. It's going to be very important for you to keep a close eye on your email, especially toward the end of April and in the summer, because you are going to get messages from the scholarship office and perhaps also from the department office, from Ms. Wilkie in particular, that have information about actions you will need to take and deadlines for your particular scholarship. So please keep that in mind, okay? So the Juried Student Exhibition represents a lot of work, as we all know, and planning done by lots of different people, including, of course, our students. And in this year of upheaval, they have managed to make some really amazing work. So compliments to them for that. The faculty are the ones who work with our students and support their creative endeavors. And the financial and application details of the JSE, those are really important too. And my colleague, Wanda Wilkie, who works in our financial office, we have huge thanks for her. Thanks also to the members of the Recruitment and Scholarship Committee of the Department of Art and Design, chaired by my colleague, Kira Enriquez, and she's here on the call. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, Dr. Benjamin. But also the significant work of assisting the juror, Mr. Brott, and mounting the exhibition was done by Sam T. Moreland, who is our graduate assistant, and Alex Hurt, who is our gallery assistant, and also the gallery student staff members, Ali, Olivia, Caroline, and Kevin. Several of our awards would not be possible without the support of the Office of ISU President, Deborah J. Curtis. And we are grateful for her continued support, as well as that of the offices of Interim Provost Christopher Olson and Interim Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Bassam Youssef. So maybe I'll just wait a second and let the slides catch up, because maybe I've been moving too fast.
We didn't have a slide for that.
With that, oh, that's okay. All right. And also to let you all know, many of the departmental scholarships, the ones we sometimes call the named scholarships, began as a way to honor individuals through generous gifts to our students. And I'd like to share some details about the people in whose memory the scholarships have been given. And I'd also like to thank Kim Coons and the ISU Foundation and the ISU Scholarship Office for their guidance and assistance with the process of awarding many of our scholarships. The next part is about the juror. The student work in this exhibition, as Sam said, was selected by our guest juror, Mark Brott, who is on the call tonight. He is a nationally recognized award-winning artist who has created images for corporations, institutions, advertising agencies, publishers, and design firms. His work is included in a number of permanent corporation and museum collections. In addition to his commissioned projects, he lectures and does workshops at schools, institutions, conferences, events, and organizations across the country. He has enjoyed teaching as an adjunct faculty member at the University of Georgia, Portfolio Center, Ivy Tech, Hollins University, and the Creative Circus. And Mr. Brott gave a wonderful talk on Tuesday night to a group of students and faculty, and we're particularly grateful to him for his practical advice and inspiration to our students. So thank you. All right. So for the exhibition scholarships, the first one is the President's Merit Scholarship, sponsored by ISU President Deborah J. Curtis. And the first recipient is Elena Llewellyn for Sycamore Seed. Next, Justice Franco for The Vibes I Give Off. Leela Winninger for Close to You. And Jamie Nichols, Nothing Anyone Can Do. Next, we have the Provost's Merit Scholarships, sponsored by ISU Interim Provost Christopher Olson. First, Jamie Nichols, Nothing Anyone Can Do. Olivia Williams, Circles Ascending. And Dylan Kingery, Tragedy. Congratulations to all of you. The next award, the Cunningham Memorial Library Purchase Scholarship. There are several of these, sponsored by Cunningham Memorial Library. First, Justice Franco, The Vibes I Give Off. Reagan Zerwig, Burnt Waves. Olivia Williams, Circles Ascending. Dylan Kingery, Tragedy. Jamie Nichols, In All Directions. Jamie Nichols, A Little Bit More. And Alistair Wallen, The Elegance of Red. All right, next we have the Center for Student Research and Creativity Purchase Scholarships, sponsored by the CSRC. Olivia Williams, Circles Ascending.
Olivia Williams Waved Lantern.
Sorry, I got the wrong one. I can't see the title in my view.
That's all right.
Leela Winninger, Close to You. Chloe Sima Martin, Dunkelrot. Chloe Sima Martin, Jacob's Ladder. And Chloe Sima Martin, Vanitas. Congratulations, everyone. All right, the next group, the University Art Gallery Scholarship, sponsored by the UAG. Grace Berry, Contemplating. Elizabeth Littrell, Pink Guy, The Elements. The New Media Merit Scholarship, sponsored by the Department of Art and Design. Joshua Hart, Countdown. Next, the Best 2D Merit Scholarship, sponsored by Department of Art and Design. Chloe Sima Martin, Dunkelrot. The Best 3D Merit Scholarship, sponsored by Department of Art and Design. Alyssa Anthony, Separated Lovers. Next is the Best Cognitive Area Art Education Achievement Scholarship, sponsored by Department of Art and Design. And that goes to David Black for Confidence. The Jonathan K. Baker Memorial Prize Scholarship, sponsored by the Jonathan K. Baker Memorial Fund, goes to Grace Berry for Contemplating. And to tell you just a little about Jonathan K. Baker, the Jonathan K. Baker Memorial Prize Scholarship was established by his family following his death in April of 1997. In 1989, John won the Junior Honors Art Award at Indiana University. He received his Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Indiana University in 1992 and was preparing to attain his master's degree. In honor of Jonathan's talent, this prize will be given annually to an undergraduate art student for a black and white drawing or print submitted to the Juried Student Exhibition. Next, we have the Craig A. Gibbons Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the Craig A. Gibbons Memorial Fund. And that goes to Reagan Zerwig for Seeing Circles. Craig Allen Gibbons graduated from Indiana State University in 1981 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. He also completed coursework toward a graduate degree from 1981 to 82. Craig was one of a few students who took sculpture classes at ISU during his junior and senior years of high school. Working as a freelance artist from 1985 until 1993, he designed over 78 floats for the Tournament of Roses parade, winning 15 banners, including sweepstakes in 1990 and 1993. He also designed award-winning entries for the Indianapolis 500 Parade, Fiesta Bowl Parade, and the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, Korea. Coca-Cola 100th Anniversary Parade in Atlanta, Georgia, and Presidents Bush and Clinton's inaugural parades. His works of fine arts were accepted in 33 juried exhibitions, and in addition, a solo exhibition was held at the Sheldon Swope Art Museum in Terre Haute, Indiana. Craig always encouraged individuals, young and old, to be aware of art in the world around them and to develop their own creativity and art appreciation. Next, we have the Best Undergraduate Merit Scholarship, sponsored by the Department of Art and Design, and that goes to Alyssa Anthony for Separated Lovers. Next is the Best Graduate Merit Scholarship, sponsored by the Department of Art and Design. And that one goes to Jamie Nichols for Nothing Anyone Can Do. And the Best in Show Scholarship, sponsored by the College of Arts and Sciences, Interim Dean Bassam Youssef. That goes to Leela Wininger for Ghost. Congratulations. Next, we have the Department of Art and Design scholarships. The first is the Elmer J Porter Scholarship, which goes to Chloe Sima Martin. And to tell you a little bit about Elmer J Porter, artist and educator, family and friends of Elmer J Porter established an endowed scholarship fund to be administered by the Indiana State University Foundation for the benefit of a student or students enrolled in Indiana State University. Elmer J Porter was a professor of art at Indiana State University from 1946 to 1973. He served as chairman of the Department of Art at Indiana State University for many years. He earned his undergrad degree from the Art Institute of Chicago and completed his master's degree from Ohio State University in 1938. This scholarship was established by his family and friends after his death in 1996. Next, we have the Marion J. Frutiger Scholarship in Art. And 2 students were selected for this award, Bailey Melvin and Kevin Naylor. This scholarship came to the Department of Art and Design from the estate of Marion Frutiger. Born in Staunton, Indiana, she attended ISU and graduated in 1930 with a degree in art and social studies. In 1954, she married Gustav Frutiger in Houston, Texas, where for many years she taught art in the public schools. The next scholarship is the Mark S. Heynig Scholarship in Art, and that goes to Jacob Byers. The Mark S. Heynig Scholarship in Art was established in 1998 through a generous contribution from Shelton and Muriel Heynig to honor the memory of their son, Mark. Always a good student, Mark excelled in the sciences and went on to graduate from MIT as an aeronautical and astronautical engineer. As a licensed pilot for single-engine aircraft, he did agricultural flying and was a bush pilot in the wilderness of Alaska while spending his summers in Vermont as an instructor in soaring. And I had to look that up, but I'll tell you, maybe you know what soaring is, but I didn't. Soaring, otherwise known as gliding, in a sailplane, experienced pilots learn how to defy gravity by recognizing clues in the weather and terrain that allow them to stay aloft for extended periods without an engine. With over 2,000 hours, including twin-engine aircraft, he continued in private aviation. Mark died in an aircraft accident in 1978 at the age of 24 in the mountains of Washington state while working for the US government. This scholarship is to assist other young people as a memorial to Mark's gentle personality, his calm manner, and his analytical mind. The next scholarship is the Indiana Artist Craftsman Talbot Art Fair Scholarship. This scholarship was established in 1988 by Indiana Artist Craftsman Incorporated and Talbot Street Art Fair to honor Georgetta Snell Lucas and Joan King Kisner for their many years of service to both organizations. Georgetta Snell Lucas, president of Indiana Artist Craftsman, earned a bachelor's degree in 1942 from Indiana State University. Joan King Kisner, chairperson of the Talbot Street Art Fair, also received the bachelor's degree in 1960 from ISU, as well as a master's degree in 1967, and it goes to Sam T. Moreland. Next is the Violet Helen Rich Scholarship, and that one goes to Madeline Aller. Violet Helen Rich received an art scholarship from the Rhode Island School of Design when she was 12. Throughout her life, she expressed her creativity in both watercolor and oils for the joy of her family, friends, and society. Her artistic talent won her many awards throughout the region. She moved to Terre Haute in 1943 and held her first exhibits there in 1944. It is hoped that her 61 years of sensitivity and creativity exhibited in the beauty of her watercolors and oils will be an inspiration for many young artists who will receive the endowed scholarship at Indiana State University to develop their own talents. And this scholarship was established in memory of Violet Helen Rich by her husband Theodore on June 13, 1986. The next scholarship is the Corey D. Lemon Memorial Scholarship, and it goes to Shelby Wafsig. Corey D. Lemon was born on June 15, 1966 in France. He graduated from Portage High School in 1985, then earned a Bachelor of Arts from Indiana State. Corey was a construction worker and skilled cabinet maker. His first love was being an artist and working with pastels and bronze castings. He loved his cats and dogs dearly. Corey died January 14, 2009 at age 43. Corey's family produced a book of his artwork, and it included some of his own words about making art. Life treats us all differently. There are the traumas that occur in childhood and the triumphs and losses in adulthood. Everyone works through their problems in their own way. For me, it is through art. I look at everything around me. I do not want to overlook anything. I am lucky that there is a lot that inspires me. The Corey D. Lemon Memorial Scholarship was established by his family. Next, we have the Thelma Biddle Nolte and Elmer J. Biddle Memorial Scholarship in Art, and that goes also to Shelby Wapsick. Born in Waynetown, Indiana on January 12, 1911, Thelma Biddle Nolte was the only child of Elmer J. Biddle and Lida Anna Zerfes. She entered Indiana State Teachers College in 1929. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Music and Art in 1933 and did further study at the Chicago Art Institute and attended classes at IU, Northern Illinois University, and ISU. Upon graduation, she taught music and art for 11 years in Indiana and 23 years in the schools of Aurora, Illinois. She died in 2009 in Fountain Hills, Arizona, where she had lived since 1974. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Hildegard Pang Art and Anthropology Scholarship, which goes to Caroline Merk. Hildegard Delgado Pang was professor of archaeology at Indiana State University. She died on August 16, 1999, just 3 months after retiring from ISU. In her obituary, there was a comment that she was the kind of person who made her department and the university a better place. Professor Pang's estate has generously supported several areas of ISU that were important to her, including the Department of Art and Design, the former Department of Archaeology, and the Cunningham Memorial Library. Congratulations, everyone who has been awarded a scholarship. And thank you to all of our sponsors, and Sam's going to show us a list of them again. And all of these sponsors have made the exhibition and this ceremony possible. So thank you to all of them.
Yeah.
And now's the
now,
time if
yeah.
you unmute and applaud.
Yeah, let's do this. Everyone unmute your microphones and then, turn your videos on. Okay. And then now we'll do a round of applause. Don't you just love the sounds of awkward clapping? All right. And now we'll actually, do you have your microphone on? Turn your microphone off. Now we'll open up the floor for questions. If anybody has any questions for any of the artists that are in our call, as it seems like there's a lot of the artists from the show that are in this call right now. If you have any questions for any of them, feel free to either type it into the chat, or you can use the raise your hand feature in under the reactions option. That works too. If you raise your hand, I can get you to ask a question. If there's anything else that you would like to see in the gallery, I can have Allie walk with the, you wanna do that? Yeah. I'll have Allie walk around with her phone so that we can see the space again a little bit more. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. The rest of this, for the rest of the evening is just gonna be kind of, the actual reception part. So, like when we have receptions in person, we're all just like wandering around, talking and rambling. That's what this is, except it's, we're all in tiny boxes and no one is near each other. And it's slightly more awkward. And also Mark Broad is still here. So if you have questions for him, he could also answer stuff. It's fun. We like to have fun here, Nobody has questions. That's cool. There you go, Allie. I'll spotlight you. You can get up a little bit closer to pieces.
I kind of want to see the circles close up.
Okay, the circles in the cube.
Yeah.
I'll say something about these. Each one of the panels has about, well, over 300 different size circles that are cut out. So if you can multiply that by 9, that's about how many circles are on all of them
Oh
together.
my
So
gosh.
yeah, the idea was to create repetition and this kind of obsessive compulsion of color and circles and how the colors kind of work together. So
How long have you been working on these?
this was actually something I did last semester, and I completed them within a span of maybe a couple months. So these are a done series, and I've had them done since last semester. So
Really, I'm looking at these and I'm like, this looks like years of work.
yeah,
That's a lot of
I put a
circles.
lot of I put a lot of hours into them. So they did take me quite some time to finish.
Hey, Allie, can you show us a view from the side? Yeah, so we can see the texture of it a little bit. Not from that far away. There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting. Side view.
Yeah.
So is it like on like a piece of plywood? What is?
Yeah, it's just a piece of particle board, and I
Okay.
painted them. So each one has a different color as the background, but you can kind of see the particle board if you look closely. They're much better in person, like every other work in the gallery is, but yeah.
All right. We also have a question for Jamie Nichols from Grace. What inspired you to make the video Nothing Anyone Can Do? Is Jamie here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hi, Jamie.
What inspired me? So basically when I started grad school, I found out that my dad had been diagnosed with cancer and was not going to live much longer. So that video was just sort of a following my parents around throughout the semester, recording clips of them interacting with each other, and really just kind of making a timepiece about just the last little bit of time that I would have with both my parents together.
Yeah. All right. We also have another question to Alyssa Anthony. I just realized the question is just about your 3D art piece. Tell us a bit about your 3D art piece, Separated Lovers. If you're here. Oh, you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
I guess it's just mainly about two lovers that are separated from each other, and as you can see in between the two forms, there are pieces reaching out for each other and trying to like meet.
How'd you get them so smooth?
Lots of sanding and polyurethane mixed with mineral spirits as a finish.
What type of wood did you
wood that
use? Oh, now you
The
can
wood that
also
I
read chat, you
used-
know.
Yeah, is cherry and walnut.
Why did you use those specific woods?
I just thought they were both really pretty.
Great, great answer. Oh. Feel free if anybody else any other questions. You can also just shout them out if you want. That's totally fine too. This is not a super formal part. The formal part is over. Now it's just this.
Sorry, I didn't catch the artist names of the like the white things on the wall on the back over there. Are
Those
they
are by
on
David Black.
Is David Black on the chat or Zoom?
I don't know. David
Okay.
Black, are you here? It's like calling out to a Ouija board. Are you here, David
Okay.
Black?
Well, he's not here, but
He's not.
I love it.
Great.
What? Like I don't. Do you know what they are?
Yeah, it's listed as plaster and styrofoam. I believe the frames themselves are made out of styrofoam and then covered in plaster, so that way they're not super heavy. And then it comes with like a
Oh,
print
yeah.
on the inside, and the print is fully framed and it's got glass and stuff in it too.
Okay, so like the thing around it's like a frame.
Yeah, kind of, but it's also like a sculpture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm like seeing this and it looks like some sort of like space alien TV.
Yeah, could be that too. Well, that is an odd noise. Someone unmute their mic and now it's just odd wind noises. Okay.
I have a question for Mark if he's still on.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize for the wind noises. That's probably me because I'm driving.
Well, be
Are
safe
you
while
leaving-
driving,
Are you leaving
please.
the state?
Yes, of course. My question for Mark is, what was your process in selecting these works?
You know, I actually sent something in writing. I put it down and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was I did say. I think it's always difficult to kind of look at work when you don't really have specific categories. And so you kind of have to break it down to just, I think I broke it down to a combination of concept, execution, and a little bit of technical excellence. And that seemed the only fair way to kind of judge all these different media against each other. And it's still difficult. You know, and I think there's a lot of pieces that, you know, might have hit 2 out of 3 really highly, but maybe missed on 1. So, I mean, and I don't want anybody to feel discouraged about, because there were a lot of pieces that I really liked, but I was like, oh, so close. And I have to admit a bias. I am really sensitive to good use of type. If you're going to put type in something, it better be right. And I know there were a couple of pieces that type kind of hurt them. I think a lot of times it's kind of thought of as an afterthought, but it's no different than any other texture in your, you know, in your final execution.
What was
Did that
your
answer the
decision
question?
for Ghost being, or no, you didn't pick that one, never mind. What was your decision for best undergrad and best graduate?
Same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I like I said, I really tried to look at what is it that holds all visual communications together and gives them a chance to, you know, thumbs up or thumbs down, be successful. Because I think that there is a continuity and a consistency in successful pieces, a common thread that holds them together. And that's kind of what I came up with.
I don't believe Kaylee Glasgow is in the chat. So there's a question about her Medusa painting, but unfortunately, I don't think Kaylee, you are here.
I think she,
Are
think
you
she
with
wa-
us? Nope. Okay. Go a little closer to that so they can see the texture. Ah, she didn't pay attention to me.
I just have a quick question. Is this being recorded and are we going to be able to get the recording?
Yes, it is being recorded. We're eventually working on getting those put up on the website. Not entirely sure where or in what form they're going to be, but it will be a video of the recording will be there. And also the recording from the artist talk from the other night will also be posted too. Oh. Okay, we have a question from Grace, the artist of tragedy. Is that Jesus in the background? Is Dylan here? Would you like to answer?
Yeah,
a question?
I'm here.
Is that?
I'm
that
here.
Jesus?
Yeah, it is Jesus in the background. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like it's two different prints. And the idea was mainly like the verse that says we could gain the whole world but lose our soul. So he's kind of walking out and he's got everything. But then the second print is kind of a depiction of like the afterlife in a way. So, but yeah, that is Jesus. Good catch.
Oh. You want to try going back into Kevin's dark room to see if you can hear anything? We'll see.
Can anyone hear it?
I think it comes through a little bit, just to kind of give you an idea of the sounds that are in there. It's like some construction noises, which actually, hi, Kevin, you can talk about that piece a little bit. Surprise, I'm making you talk. Kevin, please.
No, you're not.
Great. Apparently, Kevin does not want to talk about his piece. Elena, are you in the chat right now? No, you are not. Okay. Elena is not here then to explain the sycamore seed. But I do believe that that project is, the wire sculpture is based off of a sycamore seed, like an abstracted version of that. If that helps to answer kind of.
Actually, sorry, Sam.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, but it was actually an example in our class, so I do know a little bit about it, even though I'm not the artist.
Okay.
And it's like for our like wire abstraction, it was used. Yeah, you were right. It was like the inside of a sycamore seed. I mean, if Kira's still on, she probably knows more about it because I believe she was the teacher for that piece.
I think that so the sycamore seed is like a brown little spiky ball kind of thing. And so I believe this is just kind of like an abstracted representation of that.
So yeah, the purpose of this piece, Elena, was inspired by the sycamore seed. And so the assignment was to choose an object, an existing object, and abstract it. So what she did is kind of break down and analyze the seed in different versions. So the centerpiece, the elongated centerpiece, is a representation of one of those very tiny little seeds once you break the seed into smaller pieces. And the hanging pieces around it represent the seeds in the wind and how they would move around.
Okay. And Grace, since we have you on the call, you want to talk a little bit about your piece? Maybe. Maybe not. I see you struggling.
Yeah, it's very loud. And so I'm trying to find somewhere I can go that it's not so loud. I can talk about my piece. I think it should be quieter here. Basically, that's contemplating. That's my mother. That's my mother at 3 a.m. At that point, I was finishing up my drawing finals and we had to draw the same person 3 times over. And so I was kind of looking for a different way to portray my mother. And I really love pen and ink. I will admit that Sam got me addicted to pen and ink, and it's all your fault, Sam.
You're welcome.
I really like, it's a great thing to be addicted to. I like to layer a lot. So I like to slowly work up and build. So you can see a lot of different kind of colors in there. That's from different concentrations of ink and water. And so after I got done laying all my initial colors, I would go over it with the pen and the nib and do define lines. So that's why you see a lot of really fine details in the hand and stuff and around the face. I really like it too. It's actually massive. And what is it, like 2 foot by 3 foot? Or, I don't even know. No, it's not that big.
Yes.
It is?
I think
it's huge.
It's like 24 by 36. So yeah, that would be 2 foot by 30. Yeah, I know math.
Me too. Just don't ask me to solve any math problems for you.
Not today.
No. Yeah, it's in my opinion, really interesting, but you know, I'm the artist, so I have a biased opinion for a good reason, I think.
We have a question for the sound piece. How did you decide to collage it all together, Kevin? Was there a certain mood you were going for? I know you're still here. He's not going to respond. Okay, well, Kevin is not going to answer the question. Are there other questions?
Sam, I have one.
Okay.
Hi. I love so many of the pieces in the show. It's really hard to pick one to ask about, but I found myself, I kept coming back to if Joshua Hart is still here, and if he wouldn't mind maybe talking with us a little bit about Countdown. That was one that I couldn't stop thinking about after I saw it. And so many of the video pieces are like that. But just Joshua, is there anything you can tell us about what motivated you to make the piece and what you want your viewers to take away from seeing it?
So that piece, it's basically like what I think about when I'm going to bed. And so that's what a lot of the imagery is. And so they're like a lot of images that I've had in my head for a long time. And it was kind of a chance for me to actually make them on video. So like, oftentimes when I'm going to bed, you know, I think about the end of the world, and what I see when the world's ending, I see like just the planets align, the sky's red and just dust blowing everywhere. And that's what a lot of that is. And then I also think about my day. So like interspersed through it is like, you know, me getting ready, doing my hair. I'm replaying my whole day. And so at the end, when it's sort of like the, you know, the universe is being destroyed, it's also just me falling asleep.
That's wonderful. And I don't know if you're an insomniac. I am. And hearing you say that is like, oh, what if I thank you.
It's actually weirdly, I'm not. I can get to sleep like that because I just like I just replay my day in my head and then I fall asleep as I do that. Or like I imagine myself somewhere else and then I just fall asleep doing that. Like
that's great. Thank you. I guess one of the things that captured me about the work, and I don't know if this is what you intended or just the way it struck me, is a kind of combination of sort of the serious and the kind of the mysterious side of things versus a touch of humor kind of wrapped up together. You know, and I feel like that was really successful. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Okay, well, I can send you an email. Thanks.
What's funny is that your microphone is on, but your video is not. But technically, now the video is. If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So I don't have a camera on my computer, so
That's all right. Okay. We also have a question for the artist who made Ghost. I believe that is Leila? I don't remember how to pronounce your name.
Leela.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, it's Leela.
All right. You want to
Hi.
talk to us a bit about that piece?
I would love to. So basically, Ghost is a sort of symbolism of a duality of human psychology, if that makes sense. Like what I was thinking of a lot while making it, what I was thinking of while making it was often sort of split personalities, and that the idea that everyone has a good side and a bad side to them. And also from like a more technical perspective of the piece, I wanted to sort of like pay an homage to the more traditional classic works, because with the way that the plastic folds like drapery as if it were a marble sculpture that we would see in Greece. It's made out of plastic, but I also added some very colorful zip ties to it to sort of bring in a sense of newness. And we have the sort of traditional with modern merging together.
I like how you can see them all on the inside and they're just like spiky bits attacking each other.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, actually.
I just wanted to say I saw this one in person, and the folds on this just amazed me. They're done so well.
Thank you. This material is actually a Celtec or Caltech. I'm not quite sure which one is the right pronunciation, but it's a sheet plastic. It's very flat. It's all one color, very boring. And so I took these like very large sheets of plastic and I used a heat gun on them to get them just soft enough to that way I could fold and manipulate the material where I want it to go.
Yeah. I'm curious to know a bit about your other piece, Close to You.
Oh, yeah. So Close to You is a mixed media etching, and I actually use the sheen coulee process, in which you take tissue paper and you sort of glaze it with an adhesive, and then when you run everything through the press, the tissue paper will adhere to your print, and it will add a touch of color and a touch of texture to it. And I also, once it was dry, added gold leaf to the print. But the meaning behind Close to You is that I was inspired by the work of Gustav Klimt, The Kiss. And it represents when you have a certain closeness with someone, and you can, not only are you lovers, but you can also be partners in a sort of like, we're work together sort of aspect, like finances, for example. And you can also be best friends when things aren't so serious. So it's just like it's a symbol of love and friendship.
Cool. All right. We have any other questions for anybody else? Oh. Actually, I'm curious, is okay, Chloe is here. I want to know about Dunkelrot. Because that is a very weird name.
The pieces of a lily, obviously, and it's called Dunkelrot just because dark red is basically what it means in German, and so the flower itself is red, but I was just kind of playing with the idea that it's in black and white, but it's still red in my mind, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. It's just kind of about life, and a lot of my work revolves around like vanity and the fact that it will die and decay. But yeah.
Light topic, yeah. Okay, I noticed, is Kaylee Wittenmeyer still here? I want to know a little bit about your piece because I see glasses in there and I'm like, I'm wanting to know a little bit what's happening in that painting. That is the Hand of Life.
Yeah, so I like to do a lot of collage works. Like most of my like prints, my paintings, my sculptures, and a lot of other things are based off magazine collages I create. So we had a challenge last year in painting when Corey was teaching, and he's like, find some things out of a magazine that has texture and that can go together and place them to make them more like a surrealistic. Well, surrealism is more of my focus in art. So I actually have the original collage. Give me one second. So it was actually, if I see me.
Oh, I would have to find you. Hold on.
Yeah. So it's
Here,
actually
hold it up. Oh, there you
based
go.
on this. This is a magazine collage I did. And so we were challenged to repaint it. And it's a fun collage. So instead of following like the traditional, oh, try do this, I challenged myself to use different forms of art techniques. So I use techniques like palette techniques, like in the white and the background behind the hand. The glasses were from a art magazine I cut out. They were like a sculpture piece. That was a photo of them. I cut them around and put a camera lens in it. And then there's an eyeball behind it. But it was just a more on playing surrealism and see what I can do to expand ideas. And that's roughly about it.
Yeah. I guess I will read off Kevin's thing. He said, as this is according to the sound piece on Black Furnace, I have been doing a lot of research surrounding noise and sound art. I was really attracted to the idea of industrial sounds and the harsh sounds these machines create. The goal was to create a sound collage that creates a soundscape, but also hints at the idea of a massive machine, Black Furnace. All sound recordings are taken by myself and my friend who is an architect, frequently being around construction. So there is hopefully something to answer your question. What? We have a question about Allie, about your girl in red, or the elegance of red. That's what it's called.
So this is my friend Sydney. Oh, that's not it. So Sydney and I, we've been friends forever that I could ever think of. But Sydney has been in a lot of my art projects. This is just one of my family and her family's favorite. Originally, I was going to use her for a Cinderella piece that I was doing when I was in the middle of college and trying to play with like Photoshop and painting in it. But one day I just got really bored and I took the original photo that I was using and I just took a clip of like her red shirt. So she was just in a red shirt and jeans. And I took it and I copied and pasted it and I started painting on top of it and just playing with a bunch of Photoshop effects. And it turned into this. And it's like everywhere in my house. And my mom's like psychologist, or she's a psychologist at a drug rehab center. It's like everywhere in like their office.
It's a weird thing to have. I guess it's not that weird to have, but it's
it's
phrased
like, it's supposed to be like
yeah.
very peaceful, but it's just very elegant. It just, when you look at it, you feel relaxed. That's how they all really describe it. But it's yeah, it only took me about maybe an hour because I was bored, but I painted a Cinderella piece that no one cared for that took me like a couple months with the same photo.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah, it's always how it goes. Yeah. But yeah, Sydney's really excited that her face is in the gallery. She lives in Las Vegas, so she's very far away. So she can't come see it, but yeah, she said she's super excited.
Ah. Anybody else has any other questions or just thoughts in general? What are you doing, Allie? Okay. Your phone was glitching out there.
Sam.
What? Oh, yeah, hello.
Hi, it's Alden. Hi, I just wanted to say everyone probably maybe has sent an answer to the questions about his sound piece to the chat. So he's given us a really developed answer about his work.
Oh, yeah, I read that one off. Okay. Well, Mark, what do you think about the show? Now that you can see it in not person.
Not person. No, it's always neat to see everything in person. And I think there are things that change. Like I said, I see little files. That's kind of where this kind of came from. So they all, and in some cases, I think scale was helpful to the piece. It's always nice to see the original. I think that's always an advantage. So I always feel it's like, wow, I'm sorry. I can see that there are things that I missed in some pieces that I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I didn't see that. But there's only so much, that an image can do. So yeah. But it looks great all put up together. And I mean, the works, I think there's a wide range, which I think is fair. As far as just different medias. Like I said, it's difficult to kind of judge a video versus, a wire sculpture. And, so how do you come up with some sort of consistency to kind of level the playing field for everybody? But boy, it's always best to see the pieces, in person. But you're right, that's not possible.
Yeah.
Especially considering I'm down here, which is nice. It was nice. It was a nice opportunity to, to take a peek at all this work. I haven't seen the work from ISU in a long time.
Yeah. I guess I could also say welcome back to ISU.
Yeah. I was surprised that there was nothing from the graphic design department. But I don't know what that means. I was
Yeah.
just like, wow. Because I mean, that's kind of the department I came from. So I was kind of looking forward to seeing, you know, what they're up to.
I think
I
also a
don't
lot of
know.
it has to do with weather and COVID. We definitely, you know, had less submissions this year, but you know, there's always next year too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know, I guess the neat part is that you know, and I think I gave points for people that were courageous in some kind of different approaches and things. It's like, wow, you know, that's not easy to do. I think that's half of the struggle as an artist is to, you know, put it out there. It's always easy to say that it's, you know, well, it's not done yet, which means you can't judge it yet. And so obviously entering in show, you're putting it out there, and it's everything that you have, given everything that's on the line. And at a certain point you go, it's done. And that's hard to do. That's difficult to do because now it's open for scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's always important to just at some point call it done, get it out there. You'll always want to change something.
Oh, it would also seem that Allie's phone is now frozen. That's okay. It wouldn't be a good Zoom reception without technical difficulties, you know?
See, we talked about glitches.
I know.
Oh, now we got the floor. There we go. Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Do they still have that studio underneath the staircase between the second and third floors? There's a little tiny office.
In the fine arts building?
Well, this is the thing. I'm trying to remember what
I
would
know.
be the fine arts building. It was a long time ago that I was there. So it was the same at the time. The music department had I think the third floor. The gallery was on the first. Graphic design and music kind of shared the second. But I'm trying to remember what the name of that particular building was.
It is apparently gone now, according to Sammy.
Huh?
It's apparently gone now. That's what somebody just answered.
Oh, that was my little rabbit hole.
Oh.
For a long, you know, for my duration there. Keep me away from the others.
In a little studio under the stairs.
Well, studio is really an exaggeration. I mean, I don't know if it was 10 by 10. I know it wasn't 10 by 10. Kind of more like 4 or 5 by 4 or 5. It was a tiny little nook.
Yeah.
I see that there. It's gone now.
Yeah.
All's well that ends in the well.
Well, and that building was also recently renovated, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I would think so. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah. Hey, Allie, can you get close up to the light pieces? The ceramic, the lit ceramic pieces. All right, my brain just kind of melted for a second. I just wanted to get a little bit closer shot on Olivia's here. I don't think Olivia's in the chat right now, but she's got little lights in these things. And I thought that was cool. And unfortunately, we can't have the gallery like super dark in order to really make him shine. But I did what I could.
Sam and all of the rest of the workers that helped with this, thank you for all you've done for the show and to Mark too. Thank you for your work. You did a great job.
Well, thanks. You did a great job on your pieces.
Sam did carry that. It's like she kind of pulled all this together and made it happen, which is great.
That's what I do.
My part was pretty easy. Sam made it very easy for me.
I try.
You did great.
Thanks.
And I think it's great for everybody that did enter. Thanks for having the courage to enter. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah. It's always kind of tough putting your work out there. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, none of us really want to be told, but you've got to consider it finished. I think that's a really important thing for an artist to come to grips with, is like, it's done. And I think that's difficult to do. There's always, I was like, well, I could, it's not this. I always love critiques that start off with, well, I wanted to do this and this and this. I'm like, ah. So you're telling me it's not done and I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah. That's definitely how I approach most things. Nothing I do.
Well, right. And you know what? But the thing is that you're not going to learn anything if you put the qualifiers on. I think if you want to learn from everybody else in the room, throw it out there with no explanation and see what, because they're seeing it kind of blind. And that's where you really get the information that can kind of help you maybe resolve some of the issues or things that you overlooked, whatever. But if you throw it out there without qualifiers, you're going to learn something. But if you tell them stuff to kind of take into consideration in their, whatever their opinion is going to be of it or their suggestions, it kind of changes the whole deal. You're not going to learn as much. And the whole point of a critique is to kind of get fresh eyes on it, to bring something to it that, you haven't seen.
Yeah. All right. Are there any other questions or any other things that people just want to talk about? How has your day been?
Really good. It's really warm down here today. It's
yeah,
like 65
well,
or 70. So.
Not as warm up here.
Wait, Mark, where are you calling in from?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, dang. Sounds warm.
It's very toasty. It's nice. It's really, I was actually working on a deck today. So I was outside. I was like, finally, the rain stopped and I could get out there and get some of that stuff done.
Oh. It's a little bit warmer today, but it's still kind of cold. And also, fun fact, the gallery, the gallery is also very chilly, which is why I have gloves on. It's very cold in here. I wanted to be able to move my fingers. I guess artwork has to be stored pretty cold, so we just keep the gallery super, super cold.
It'd be expensive to keep it warm.
Yeah.
That's a pretty open space with higher ceilings and stuff.
Yeah.
I could understand why they might go, maybe not so much.
Yeah. I have a tendency to fall asleep when I'm cold, so that's not always a good thing.
Or could that be misinterpreted as a near-death experience?
I know, I say it's like a hypothermic reaction,
Right. It's like, okay, if you fall asleep, you may not wake up.
Thanks. Now I'm gonna be worried about that.
Yeah, don't nod off on us.
Oh. Allie, what do you think? Your mic's not on.
Would be good. I think the show came out very wonderful. Like, AJSE students, you guys are very talented. Like, every single piece that I saw, even if it wasn't selected, it was so gorgeous. But yeah, everyone did really awesome. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Well, and also your an architectural engineering student?
Yes. So I originally, when I came here, I majored in art, but then I changed it to architectural engineering. So it's been a little bit since I've done like art or anything like education wise. But coming back to it after 3 years, I mean, this stuff is wonderful. And I mean, these were like people that I probably started school with at ISU. And from what I saw in the beginning to now, it's wonderful. It's amazing, Yeah. You guys create gorgeous work, and, your hard work really does pay off.
Is Ellie in this chat? Did you hear the story about the pink guy? And you also turned
I know a little bit about it. Ellie is a crim major. I don't know if Chanel's still on the chat. That is her roommate, and she's been friends with her longer than me. Probably even saw Ellie paint it. I don't know if Chanel's on here or.
I think so.
Okay, so basically, I'm on Chanel's computer right now.
Oh, this is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Hello. So the story behind it, I don't have a great story for it, really. I just started off with a pink human shape and just progressively made it weirder, went to the hole in the head. I don't know, I kind of wung it. I'd never made anything like that before.
I like that
And
you
it actually-
described it as pink human shape. That's great.
Couldn't make it too, you had to make it a little out of pocket, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the only decent explanation I have for it would be how on the inside it's like pretty sunny, and on the outside it's like kind of scary and ominous a little bit. So the way like you keep yourself cool in bad situations, kind of keeping yourself collected.
Yeah. And then your eyes pop out.
Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Is there any particular artist that you kind of felt influenced you stylistically or anything?
Okay, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Is there any artist that kind of influences you stylistically, or somebody whose work you like?
A lot of the artists that like I look at are digital artists, and through like Instagram and stuff like that, like small apps so you can like follow them and see what a lot of it is digital. And I didn't realize going into it that it would be so hard to like do a pop art style with paint. I feel like that's a lot accomplished digitally, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's.
I want to know a little bit about the melting heads, because like I love those weird little things. They're just so weird to look at, and I enjoy them a lot. Just, I don't know. I don't know what my question is. It's just, why?
Yeah, with that one, so I had just started trying acrylic pouring. And the first one I ever did, it was so bad. It came out like really thick on the paint. It was all cracked, and I was like kind of discouraged by it, but I found a better technique, and then I tried it on this one. And after I let it dry, I came back the next day, and it looked like where the eyes are, and then like the foreheads on them. Those were the only places where there wasn't consistent green. So my first thought was like, these look like faces. I have to make it into faces, but I didn't want them to look normal. Like,
yeah.
There's really not a story behind that one, though. That was the first thing I saw, was that these definitely could be faces.
Yeah, I love that. just looking at a blob and being like, that's a face. That's great. I just also like that one guy's head with like a really large chunk of blue up there. It kind of looks like a lake of sorts, or kind of naturey.
Almost.
Yeah.
And a lot of that I still didn't make the paint thin enough for it, and it wouldn't spread all across the canvas, so I had to use my fingers a little bit and spread it around. I'm surprised it turned out the way it did, but I was definitely not upset by it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, also, let's go to the other video since Josh is still on the call. Tell me about the face in the wall.
So that one was actually, I had to do that for the Vigo County Historical Society. So basically it's for a website they're doing about haunted stories of the area. So basically I did some research. I read a couple books about like local haunted stories and stuff until I found one that I really liked, which was there's like a face that apparently if you touch it, you'll die. I adapted it very loosely. So like in the original sort of telling of the story, it's like it was like some kid in the 50s drove his car into a wall really fast. And I didn't shoot it on Fruitridge Avenue either. Because that's in the middle of nowhere. But that one it was kind of a pain to make because it was like November-ish and at night. But we never really ran into any trouble with like, I don't know, no one tried to rob us or anything. It was very cold.
Was that a concern?
Well, all my professors kept telling me like to be careful because we were shooting in like alleys and stuff.
Oh, yeah. But why is it called Fruitridge Ave if you didn't shoot it on Fruitridge Ave?
Well, so that's where the original story takes place, and also within the story in my film, it does take place on Fruitridge Ave.
I think you did a good job of integrating the animation into the live action.
Oh, thank you. I actually, to do that, I used a projector and I projected it onto the wall, and then I traced it later.
Well, it came off really well. It looked very organic, and it fit. A lot of times that can look really cut out and not fit, but you did a good job of making it work with the story and not take over. I actually showed your entry to a buddy of mine that works in film.
Oh, really?
And I didn't tell him anything. I just said, "What do you think?" And he liked it. And then I told him, that it was from a university show. And he's like, "Wow, good. So keep it up."
Oh, thank you so much. And this is my friend Jeremy. He's in all my films.
Well, he wasn't in Countdown though.
He wasn't. What? Let's see. No, he didn't even make a cameo. Normally he makes a cameo. I did use a shot from that in this though.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have any other questions? Any other things they want to talk about? We can go ahead and kind of wind it down. We've already been winding it down, but we can wind it down more, I guess. I don't know. Any final thoughts from people?
Keep up the good work, guys.
There's a lot of thoughts. Yeah. This is the fun part about all the Zoom calls, is when you're just like left with an open room of people and you just get all of the awkward silence because nobody wants to actually talk. It's great. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it down for the night. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, we have alumni that's dropping in from Haley. Hi, Haley. It's been a while since I've seen you. So we're gonna go close this down for the night. Sorry, Haley, that we're just now closing it. But this show will be open in person till the 23rd. Remember that you can come by anytime Monday through Friday from 11 to 4, Thursdays from 11 to 7. We are currently open right now. You can walk in if you want. Say hello. I was waiting to see if somebody would walk in while we were doing the reception. I thought that would be fun. But nobody was here. Anyway, hope you all have a good night. Thank you so much to Mark for jurying the show this year. And thank you so much to all of the students who submitted everything this year. You've all been great. And congratulations to everyone on their awards.